Good evening. Gonna make this quick because I just kind of want to get doing Reaper out of the way. Because I kind of like Reaper a lot, but the problem is that this is probably the same for Sage, now that I think about it. But the level 80 capstone ability is gated, I think, by the job quest. So, like, I've been playing Reaper in Bozier a lot. And, like, I put together a lot of the rotation by myself without looking at anything. But, like, I clearly see that, like, I'm either gaining extra soul meter or something like that. And then it hit me that, like, oh, wait, there's a bunch of GCDs I'm not spending on Enshroud. That's probably why things aren't lining up the way I think they should. So, yeah. It felt like I was playing basically level 78 the entire night. So, regardless of who's actually up right now to see it, I'm gonna do the job quests. Because I fucking feel like it. Alright, back to Uldar. Oh, actually, not Uldar. We're actually going to our first mission. Oh. I did not get mod view. There we go. Alright. Time to kill a beast or something. So I think, like, most of this setup was kind of done during the stream, but I've refined it a little bit, I think. It took a little bit of getting used to, because, like, I was having a lot of trouble, like, hitting the soul gauge spenders and then Gibbet and Gallows consecutively, or, you know, when they needed to be. And then I got super confused by, like, the... What was it? Unveiled Gibbet and Unveiled Gallows? Because I thought, wait a minute. Are they improved abilities that I'm not seeing? And then I realized it was placing Blood Rake, and I'm like, wait. So am I being incentivized to combo with... No, it's just, once you've used one combo, your Blood Rake is empowered. So long as you don't... prolong your next Gibbet or Gallows by too much. I don't know. Anyway. Ah, Drusilla's here, and this must be the client. Boss? Who's this? Are you sure we should be getting an outsider involved? Thank you for your discretion, Arnegus? Arnegus? I want to pronounce that like Aegis for some reason, but... But it ain't needed. She has a personal contract with me, so consider her a mercenary in service to the family. Whatever you'd say in front of me, you can say in front of her. By your will, boss. The Chimera has been making these sands a living hell for anyone who dares to wander into its territory, which would be us, since our trade route cuts right through it. The men I've hired to carry my goods are scared to death, and I can't blame them. None of us are fit for monster hunting, so I sent for you. We'll see what we can do, Arn. Might want to find a rock to hide behind, though. Chimeras aren't known for being the most discriminating of beasts. Time to put your new skills to good use, Ray. You've learned all the... Yeah, gotcha. Ready, are we? Oh god, I'm going back to 70. Blech. Blech. Oh, this is cool. Let's get on with the honey. We'll need to draw out the Chimera with Myrmidon meat. Now to accustom yourself to the Reaper's tools. Harvest the souls of the fallen to call forth your avatar. Reapers can summon fill the soul gauge. Yeah. You're taken to kill him more quickly than I could have hoped. It'll be an easy thing to summon your avatar to your side. Let's move on to the fun bit, eh? Your avatar will help you strike fear into the hearts of your foes. Uh-huh. Gibbet will hurt him from the flank. Gallows will surprise him from behind. If you're getting swarmed, use Guillotine to carve yourself some space. Be able to resist the smell of blood. Make sure to soak those sands in it. Sure. Oh. Okay. As long as your avatar is by your side, monsters like this are easy prey. Show me you've been listening, give your avatar a feast to remember. Position yourself. Gibbet from the side, Gallows from the rear. Wait, are you going to be holding position? Because I don't think that's how that works in combat. Yeah, no. Although I kind of fucked it up there, didn't I? This is also really inappropriate music for a Reaper quest, I feel. Wait, is this is flank? It's one thing I've been forgetting a lot is which is which. Should probably put Gallows first, because I think I'm more used to rear being first. I did it. I learned the basics of CQC. With a scythe. Bloody impressive work, that. I knew there was something about you. Truth be told, I hadn't expected you to make such clean work of that chimera. I reckon even I might be hard-pressed to match that display. No talent when you see it, boss. With that, the ceruleum will flow once more. Ceruleum? Among his many roles, Arn is a merchant of sorts. He sells ceruleum at a price that'd make those guild pinchers at Amagina and Sons balk, but still turns a pretty profit. We can barely keep up with demand, despite the occasional beast or two button into our affairs. All thanks to you, boss. And our countryman up north, of course. Here's to getting back to business as usual. Oh, are you a Garlean too? Thulium ain't easy to come by, as you well know. Amagina. I keep wanting to say Amalja. Amagina and Sons protects their monopoly with a gilded fist, but they've yet to force the Imperial stragglers up north out of the market. Now, before you go running off to the flames, let me assure you that this arrangement is entirely above board. Selling goods to Imperials is forbidden by law, but there's nary word writ about buying from them. I know you Eorzeans like to call Garleans by all sorts of colourful names. Bastards, tyrants, invaders. I mean, if the shoe fits. And we've got all those and worse. While many a foul deed has been committed for the glory of the Empire, we ain't megalomaniacs to a man. Even amongst the purebloods, those that serve don't always do so by choice. Could be argued we're casualties of the great Machina's ambition. Sure. No small number of the Empire's troops would return home in a heartbeat if they could. But the world, being what it is, most settle for sending their family what few coins they can afford to part with. Most Eorzeans wouldn't suffer a whit of colour to complicate their black and white view. But if you're going to fight with us, you should learn the truth of our past. Long ago, long before the Empire, our forebears lived in Locus Amoenus, down in southern Ilsabard. With temperate climes and fertile earth, the land provided. Many of us were but simple farmers, harvesting abundant crops with the selfsame scythes the reapers would eventually wield. But gifts are ever the object of envy. When not tilling the fields, our ancestors were forced to defend them. Every year they yielded a few more ilms, and some 800 years ago now, they were driven from Locus Amoenus completely. They fled north to the frozen region that would become Garlemald. Even there, they fought tooth and nail for the scant resources of that frigid land. From the fires of hardship were the first Magitech devices forged, and with innovation upon innovation, that humble group of farmers grew into an insatiable empire. But, before that miraculous twist of fate, we were a dying breed, bereft not only of magic, but of hope itself. With no natural advantages to speak of, our mere survival was in question. From harsh necessity were the Reapers born. We turned our tools to weapons and struck a bargain with the Whispers in the dark. With the Void's power, we could strike at an army's beaten heart, slay their generals, and throw the rank and file into disarray. Our way is to end battles before the sparks catch, to sacrifice the one for the many, to keep avaricious hands away from family, friends, and lovers. And now this power belongs to you. Sweet. Remember our story. Remember what drives a woman to return to the void, and you'll not be led unto deeper temptations. Our work here is done. I'll see you back at headquarters. I forget if this goes, 70, 72, 74, or if this is like, what? 73, 76, 79, 80. I mean, I'd assume it'd probably follow Stormblood rules, because they're clearly trying to lean closer to that as the expansions went on. Steps of Thol... Weaver's Guild. Gotta remember that. For our first outing, you did good. I think you've earned the right to know just who this lot you've thrown yourself in with is. You might have gathered this yourself, but the Lemures were formed to support those Garleans who are living in exile. It ain't easy to be far from home, let alone in a place where most would sooner gut you than offer a helping hand. Oft the only place to make a living is in the shadowy corners that lie outside the watchful gaze of the law. Now, I don't expect you to embrace us like brothers and sisters straight away, but know this. I do expect you to apply yourself to this job. In the meantime, I'll be working with the family to ascertain the whereabouts of our prey. I expect that sight to be like an extension of your own body when next we speak. E73. Drusilla is eager to get the Void Scent hunt underway. Ah, there you are. Looking deadly enough with that scythe to make me weak at my knees. Man. I'll wager it's time we stopped faffing about and made ready to hunt our target. My Lemures have been hard at work scraping together what information they can. Let's see what they've got. They all died. Oh. Oh, of course they're all wearing hats and headgear and shit. They're fucking Garleans. Like, I was gonna say, like, oh, is it gonna turn out all of them are Garleans? And then Drusilla's like, yeah, we're all Garleans. And I'm like, oh, okay. But it didn't click that, like, oh, they kind of have to wear the headgear, don't they? Everyone here? Good. You've met. No further Chimera-related incidents you'll be happy to hear? The overly chipper lass there is Herman. Make your acquaintances. Ah, just like me. Mutant always putting my hands together. As you know, our quarry is a Void Scent, and he goes by the name Orcus. He's eluded the best, but these two are a step above that. Tell us what you found. I'll buy your will, boss. I asked around about unsolved murders and disappearances, seeing if any involved someone matching the description you provided. There's as many missing people as there are grains of sand, and no shortage of tragedies either. One, however, stood out amongst the rest. A woodcutter in the black shroud disappeared without a trace. No body, no belongings, nothing. An odd enough occurrence by itself, but the sightings of a stranger with skin pale as snow near his last known whereabouts piqued our interest. Now that's a promising start, but those woods are crawling with bandits and brigands of all sorts. Duskwights and keepers are said to come in ghostly hues. We sure this man ain't one of them? Sure if I've ever been, boss. Not many bandits have eyes the color of blood. It's a match too close to ignore. Can't gainsay that. We have a lead. If I may, boss, are you sure we need the help of this outsider? How much trouble could one Void Scent be? Herman, she's standing right there, for God's sake. No, she's right. Always told you to turn a wary eye to those outside the family. She's just doing her due diligence. But trust me when I say we need every advantage we can afford. I made the mistake of misjudging Orcus' strength before. For my hubris, my family, my flesh and blood family, was slain. All of them. Scythe kind of blocking the frame there. Was planning to hold that back a bit longer, but just before the Lemures, I swore two things. I'd repay that suffering a thousandfold, and I'd never let that bastard take anything from me again. I mean to keep my vow, and I trust I can count on you two to help. You don't have to ask twice, boss. Your wounds are our wounds, even the ones that became scars. Or that become scars. We'll see your vengeance wrought. All these years I've scraped to make a place for us. I looked forward to the day he'd pay his dues. And if it ain't for me that we have to hunt him down either... Oh, it ain't just for me that we have to hunt him down either. He's a blight on Eorzea itself. And the longer we let it fester, the more suffering it will spread. We need to corner him now, while we have the chance. Are you ready, Rayan? You know these woods as well as any of us, and we'll need your experience if we were to hope to be back before supper. Much appreciated. Alright, let's get to it then. Herman, I want you here in Uldar, keeping your ear to the ground for any news of Orcus's movements. You lead us to where this woodcutter disappeared. By your will, boss. That'd be the central shroud. So our best course would be to set off from Bent Branch Meadows. Bent Branch Meadows. Is that what the Aetheryte is? I feel like it is, but I can't remember. It is. Basically. There you are. Orcus is an accursed name, feared from Garlemald to Alamigo. I hear tell the people of Girabania bestowed it on a fiend that feasts on the bones of man, so much does it reek of evil incarnate. Good, you made it. Before we set off, allow me to share the circumstances of our poor woodcutter's disappearance. As I heard it, he disappeared nigh on a week ago. Got lost some surmise, but he was a seasoned woodsman, not some highborn traveller who forgot to buy a map. Questioned those closest to him, and none could think of a reason he might want to make himself scarce. He even made plans to meet with friends not long from now, but I expect that promise will go unkept. Sounds like we can rule out a voluntary departure. I believe we can. Last person to see the man alive said he took his axe and ventured northwest. And that's where we'll set our trap. Here, Brown, take these. A Magitech transceiver and candle that's scented like a Void Sense favorite libation. Blood. Blood-scented candles? What the fuck? Is that even possible? I mean, I guess you could, like, amalgam some scents to, like, imitate it, but... Once it's lit and the fumes are wafting through the air, every Void scent within 30 yards will come running. If either of us see Orcus, we'll give the other a shout over the transceiver. As I said before, Orcus is inhabited the body of a man, and he can put on an awfully convincing performance when needs must. Don't give him a chance to work his wiles, or his fangs will be in your neck before you know it. As much as I want to accompany you, it'd only be a liability in a fight. Oh, as much as I want to accompany you, it'd only be a liability in a fight. Whether you find Orcus or not, return here and I'll report back to the Lemures. Good luck and good hunting. Ooh. Bit on the nose to be hunting via with a fucking Garlean mech. Blood-scented candle. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why would you let me interact with it like that if I was out of range? Bullshit. Stench of blood chokes the air, filling your nostrils with its metallic aroma. However, no ghostly fiends or slavering creatures emerge from the underbrush. If there are any void scent nearby, they must not be hungry. Yep. Nothing again. Here I was expecting to get accosted at each turn. Either that or this is going to be a dead end and we're going to be like, oh, fuck, what do we do now? Drawn by the maleficent odor, a void scent rises from the underbrush. Though it bears no resemblance to Orcus, it eyes you with a voracious hunger. Oh, hi. Oh, sorry, friend. You're fighting me at level 81. I got a blood-soaked ring. I don't need to repair my shit. This ring is colored red with blood, although with whose is uncertain. Glad to see you in one piece. Now, what's that you have in your hand? Found a bloody ring. You said the Void Scent was carrying this. That ring. Where'd you find it? Void Scent was carrying it. Looked like it had roots in it. I see. There can be no doubt. The Void Scent that ran slew is the very same one that murdered our woodcutter. Murdered? Are you saying... Aye. While I was searching for a place to set my trap, I spotted a shallow grave, hastily dug and poorly hidden. Under a thin layer of dirt was a body matching the description of the woodcutter. Wholly nondescript fellow, save for the mark of a ring removed from his finger. Doubtless that ring was his demise. Shiny baubles are a common fixation for Void Scent. Probably didn't spare a thought for the owner, only the prize. Suppose we can take comfort in the knowledge that it'll harm no one else. Orcus or not, I'd say this expedition was a success after a fashion. We should apprise the whalers of what's transpired. You two catch some well-earned rest. Thank you kindly, Arn. Well then, I'll see you back at headquarters. Okay. I killed another Void Scent. I feel accomplished. Is kind of unfair they had to face me at that level, that's for sure. I do wonder sometimes how much they consider, like... Because, like, for quest lines, they've got things that scale to your level. And they've obviously already got, like, instances that scale you, or that, level sync you if required. I'm actually really surprised that they don't do the same thing with, like, job quests and that. Because that enemy was 73. Like, that was just no challenge. If they scale it up to whatever level you were, then... Like, it seems like they already have the tech for that, but... There I thought this would finally be over. When Arn has a lead, we're usually toasting our kill the day after. These are exceptional circumstances. Maybe we didn't get the satisfaction I promised, but sitting here with our heads in our hands won't do us any good. Let's be happy with one less Void Scent preying on helpless woodcutters. The only good Void Scent is dead Void Scent, or... Here. Nothing comes of their endless hunger for ether but bloodshed and tragedy. We were on the cusp of ending 2 decades of misery. That's how long ago Orcus came into this world, raging like an animal free from his cage, leaving my family dead in his wake. The grief he's caused since then is immeasurable. No matter where his accursed feet take him, his hunger follows, and the realm bleeds to sate it. Of course, we are the only ones hunting him, but he's as clever as he is vicious, and not even the finest trackers have been able to keep on his trail for long. Don't lose heart yet, boss. While you were away, I was making the rounds, and I might have found something that'll soon bear fruit. Anna's following up on it as we speak. I see someday that man is going to keel over on my account. Still, there's no one else I trust to tell me the difference between truth and hysteria. That being said, his work takes time to do right. Use this chance to hone your skills, and if all goes to plan, next time we speak, you'll have a golden opportunity to test them. 75 or 76? 75. Drusilla is awaiting word from Arn. Apologies, Rayan, but we're still waiting on Arn to come through. There's not much for you to do around here until then. Well, unless you have a knack for cleaning. Nope. Herman is good at weeding, Weedlin? Fuck is that word? Wheedle. Use flattery or coaxing in order to persuade someone to do something to give one... or give one something.
Wheedle.
Huh. I did not know that was a word. There you go. Herman is good at wheedling out promising stories and whatnot, but getting to the truth of these stories is a craft as delicate as weaving. I'm sure you've seen firsthand how one bad bit of information can lead to elaborate plans coming apart at the seams. I don't know what gives you that impression. Why is it... I'm still miffed by the fact the fucking... I'm still miffed at the fact that the fucking hideout has the, like, jazzy... Like, Emmett and Hythlodaeus are about to come around the corner like, ooh, Reaper quests. Calm down, lad. Breathe. What's gotten into you? It's Arn. He's been murdered. What? Tell me I heard that wrong. I'm afraid not. The brass blades found him half buried in the sands not bells ago, just lying there like some bloody animal carcass. They're bringing him to Errolig's burial chamber as we speak. I really like her. Whoever did this doesn't know the reckoning they've got coming. Before I'm done with them, they'll be begging to crawl back into their mother's womb. I want just as much as you, Herman, I do, but it's time like this we need to look to the boss for guidance. As you can see, Rayan, emotions are running high. I should stay here until Herman cools off. Can you let the boss know we're standing by and waiting for her command? Like as not, she's gone to pay her respects. Fuck. If Orcus is someone in Uldar, that'd be fucking nuts. Where is that? Oh, right next to the Thaumaturge's Guild. Oh my god, why is that stream still going? Jesus, no wonder I dropped a few frames. Oops. No, OBS, where'd you go? There you are. There you are. Sorry, Rayan. I ain't in the mood for a chit-chat. Yeah. Fair. Where's the bloody keeper? My lady, prithee, the dead must be let to rest. Dead are gonna, the dead are gonna have one more among them if you don't shut your trap and listen. The brass blades brought in a body not long ago. Show me to it. Yes, they did. But are you the deceased's family? Not, I'm afraid we cannot. Family. Family? Arn was like a son to me. Like a son? Ordinarily, that would be... Yet he is interred in the innermost coven. However, I must advise you not to gaze upon the body. Nope. Shit your fucking gob, mate. Matter... She insists, and so be it. God damn it, Alan. Told you not to go and get yourself... Don't, Rayan. This isn't for you. Sorry for barging in here, and for all the bluster. If you can forgive my rudeness, promise me that Arn gets sent off well and proper. Of course he shall be. However, if you wish to inter him within the city gates, well, such sought-after space comes at no small expense. I don't care what it costs. Just send your man to Lemue's headquarters to collect what you require. Rayan? I appreciate you coming to find me, but there's someone else I have to speak with first. I'm heading to Stone's Throw. Come along if you please, but come along in silence. Huh. Okay. Yes. Nold. God, why the fuck did they put 2 gates in fucking central Thanalan? Confusing as fuck. This is where Arn's dear wyverns are living. Best get this over with. Oh. Fuck. Ray, you shouldn't... You are asked to not... Fuck. I never forgot the debt he owed you. The debt we both owed you. Even so, his loyalty ran even deeper than that. It's a strange thing to look back on the people we were. A decade younger and a lifetime more foolish. Young lovers, proud patriots, blissfully ignorant, returning to... Locus Emoenus, the cradle of our people. Triumphant homecoming for the Garleans after centuries in exile. Once mighty invaders had been laid low and driven back whence they came. It was a banner day when Arn was on with a post there. The honor and pride quickly faded when we saw the truth of Locus Emoenus. We hadn't just defeated our enemies. We clapped them in irons and condemned them to a life of servitude. Descendants of those who'd driven out our ancestors north so many generations ago, made to pay for their crimes of their forebears. His superiors were certainly pleased with the poetry of it all. Arn, however, could not simply look away from their suffering, let alone take pleasure in it. Confronted with the reality of the place we could call home, his conscience demanded he take action. He began cooperating with the resistance, but the eyes of the frumentarium are all-seeing. Before long he was ousted as a sympathizer. It was only by the good grace of fortune that we escaped with our lives. I've often lain awake at night wondering if he had outlived his usefulness to the resistance. Or perhaps it was a petty senior officer that orchestrated our fall. Regardless of the cause, the outcome was the same. We could never return to the Empire. We fled to Eorzea by way of Radz-at-Han, the only route open to us. It wasn't soon after stepping foot on the docks of Limsa that your luck ran out, as I recall. Stopped by yellow jackets and accused of being Imperial spies. Aye, but we still managed to make an escape. We ran and ran, terrified that our pursuers would one day catch up to us. That is, until we met you. Had you not taken us under your wing when you did, I shudder to imagine our fate. Your gratitude's the last thing I deserve, lass. If I hadn't sent Han off on my damned fool's errand, he'd still be alive. It was Orcus that killed him, and no mistake. He died for my vengeance. I can't tell you how sorry I am. No, you needn't apologize. I know he was happy. So long as he was helping you, he was happy. The blame for his death doesn't rest on your shoulders. It rests on the man, the monster that murdered him in cold blood. And I expect you to see he answers for his crimes. For me, and for Arn. I will, lass. I will. On this I swear everything that I have to swear. Anyway, I'm still here. We need to talk, Rayan. Somewhere with fewer prying eyes. Come meet me at the bridge to the north. I owe you an apology, Rayon. For not telling you everything about me and Orcus from the start. Dragged you into a fight against a foe that's cunning, brutal, and utterly merciless. Thought with all of us together we'd tip the scales in our favor. Where's this music from? But I was wrong. And I'd pay the price for my hubris. That void scent we tracked in the Black Shroud was likely one of Orcus's minions, but I was too caught up in my grand scheme to realize it at the time. I should have thought about why it tried to hide that body. Your common void scent wouldn't have the guard bury a kill. What if Orcus taught it as a way to throw trackers off its scent, and to dangle bait for me and mine? Orcus has used that same trick in the past, and he knows that we know it too. By dispatching his minion, we drew his attention. Arn was a warning. Orcus doesn't give his prey swift deaths. He toys with them, cuts into them, and savors the screams. So I knew he was responsible. It's like a signature. The way he leaves the bodies when he's had his fill. Only pray Arn doesn't take that suffering with him to the next life. Orcus will be coming for you and me, you or me next. Not right away, though. That'd be giving up the game. He wants us to keep looking over our shoulders, sleeping with one eye open, and wear us down without even lifting a finger. And when he finally strikes, we'll be dead on our feet. Playthings for him to do with as he pleases. That won't do. We need to bring the fight to him. No more waiting around for a lead to come to us. Won't be easy, but can I still count on your help? Come this far, might as well go the rest of the way. Thank you, Rayon. You've got no qualm whisking life and limb to fight for Arn, to fight for me, then I've got no qualm calling you a member of my family. Family. A curious word, that. Well. Okay, A, Garlean body. B. That right. Bloody. It's him, Rayon. Orcus. Some persistent rats were nibbling at my tail. Should have known by their stench it was you and yours, Drusilla. Or should I call you... granddaughter? Yeah, that's what I thought. Shut your mouth, you thrice-damned monster! Monster? Is that any way to greet a beloved elder? Children these days. Seems one death wasn't punishment enough for you. A second should suffice for this scant remainder of your being. I will throw down with you right now, motherfucker. Try it. Rayon, we're into this here and now. Follow my lead. I thought we might save our reunion for a while longer. But if you insist, I shall feast upon your beating heart here and now. Die! Ray. Naught but dregs left in that desiccated vessel of yours. Too long has the hide been left in the sun. Wow, yikes. But your family has been replenished with fresh blood, I see. My, what a bounteous soul this one has. Your sight may be dull, but your eye is as sharp as ever. Blinding as the sun, pure as the snow. Delectable as a boar slathered in grease. Ugh. Alright, don't try to be funny. You're being... Oh, well, that was... Okay, this was not the music I thought it was. Is this the weapon questline music? I guess it's like Garlean adjacent. I had thought to make a quick meal of you, but perhaps just this once, forbearance is in order. Such a singular specimen must be given time to fatten, to fulfill its succulent potential. It would be a travesty to consume you ere you achieve perfection. When your soul is ripe with fear, swollen with hatred, and fit to burst with despair, I shall return for you, Rayon, and I shall gorge. Until that time, sup well, my growing whelp. I already fought Xenos, motherfucker. You can't scare me. Excuse me one moment. So, I was gonna start this stream earlier, if I managed to finish dinner. I didn't. So I'm probably just nibbling away at it for the rest of the night. Right. Now that I've had a bite. Curse these old bones. He was right in front of me. I could have ended in one swing. For a moment, just one moment, I saw it all again. My family slaughtered, lying at his feet. My life slipping away. That was enough. Doubtless you have more than a few questions. I'll answer them, I promise, but now's not the time. Trust me. Standing around kicking the sand won't change what's done. Let's return to headquarters and let the wind cool our heads. Then we can consider our next course of action. I'm gonna beat that motherfucker up. Like, there's no discussion to be had. He will be tasting my scythe. Tis inevitable. Himbo Primus. That's a fucking great name. Nadia Business is also pretty good. I don't know if it's just because this is a new server and people had the opportunity to come up with, like, really creative names, but goddamn, I've seen, like, so many, on, like, the Australian servers specifically. Fucking crazy. Still got that music. It was my own fault. If I hadn't stood there slack-jawed, if I wasn't so damned slow, we'd be rid of that abomination once and for all. What you saw used to be my grandfather, before Orcus took over. He looks green enough to be my own grandchild now. Trick of the Void, like as not. It's no secret that if a Void Sen doesn't want to devour you, it probably wants to take possession of your flesh, but Orcus has a particular talent for it. And as you doubtless surmised, he's got an insatiable craving for ether. Killing is only a prelude to the act of gobbling down our essence, like a draught of ale after a day's work. He's old. I can't exactly say how old, and he's acquired a taste for the finer things. Seems your soul counts among the finest he's ever seen. Things just keep getting better for us, don't they? Wouldn't be the first time someone set their sights on my soul. He can keep his bloody fangs to himself. Yeah, wouldn't be the first time someone's... Yeah, soul. Is that so? Used to be an prized pig, are we? Anyway, it's clear that safety is no longer something we can take for granted. Not even in a crowded street, not even in the middle of the day. Keep your eyes peeled and watch out for those terrible red eyes. We're sitting chocobos for the moment, but I'll think of something and send for you as soon as I can. Till then, never sleep far from your scythe. Don't worry, I'll be fine. 77? No, 78. Hey, Rizaki. I'm here and I haven't slept. It's almost 9 AM. Go the fuck to sleep. Like, I trust that you can kind of look after yourself and make sure that, like, you're not doing something stupid unless you obviously have the opportunity to. But I feel obligated regardless to say, go the fuck to sleep. How are you, Rizaki? Drusilla seems relieved to see you walk through her door unscathed, but I was just standing here. Glad to see Orcus hasn't sunk his teeth into you yet, Rayon. Yeah, I don't have work tomorrow. It'll all sort itself out. Ah, okay, that's it. 9 o'clock's extreme, but... Listen, I think it was a weekend or two ago that I actually, like, didn't go to bed until, like, 7 a.m., so, like... I can't really talk, but at the same time, I have the experience to be able to say, go the fuck to sleep. Don't go thinking he's given up on trying, though. I mean, I haven't run into anything. He's out there savoring you from a distance. Can't resist checking in on his prize, just as he can't resist seeking out morsels to tide him over until his feast. The reports we've received of a man pale as death skulking around the sands is proof of that. And then there's the matter of this blunted dagger. We don't know who sent it, but we do know what it means. It's a warning commonly used by the less savory elements in Uldar. A warning that next will be delivered sharp and straight to our bellies. More fool them. They've no notion of what we faced and lived, thinking we'd soil our small clothes over empty threats. Let's hope it's nothing more than that, lass, seeing as we need to follow up on these reports sooner than later. Anyone fancy a bit of fresh air? If we catch a whiff of Orcus's foul stench, all the better. Rayon, I want you to ask around near Black Brush Station, and I'll head to Stone's Throw. When you're done, meet me there and we'll share what we've dug up. Doing alright, got sucked back into Terraria. Say no more. I got sucked into Reaper, as you can probably tell from me streaming very late at night at an unusual starting time for me. Yeah, I want Enshroud. The rotation feels weird without Enshroud. Oh, hey. I recognize that self-assured stride. Mark of a woman ready to take on the world and then some. You must be the Aelsian Reaper the boss sent word about. I sure am. What's up? I'm almost disappointed to tell you nothing is amiss. Soldier and me would have loved to see a Reaper in action. Once fought in the Imperial Army. Though you wouldn't think to look at me now. So proudly under Lord Valens in my youth, until the day he ordered us to use common folk as fodder in some pointless skirmish. I refused and was sentenced to death for my candour. Needless to say, I didn't keep that appointment. Compared to that evil, toothless threats and ghosts are no bother. But the less jaded and more excitable. One lass in particular has been jumping at shadows. She claims to have seen all manner of terrors, but I suspect she'd be startled by her own reflection. Still, if you want to lend an ear to her delusions, you can find her in Lost Hope. Okay. Might as well. I mean, hell, like, based on the information we know, wouldn't that be more of an indication that she might actually be suffering from Orcus being a shit? Because he does, like fucking with people? Ah! Oh, hello. Who are you? Oh, did Drusilla receive my missive? She sent someone to rid us of the terrible evil waiting in the wings. Truly, she cares for us, as if we were really her flesh and blood, which is more than I can say about my own. Not once have I longed to return to the life of comfort I left behind in Garlemald, and I have Drusilla to thank for that. She isn't the reason I left home in the first place, of course, but had I not met my beloved, I would likely still be feasting on lemon cakes in ignorance. In ignorance of love and freedom. Found the former in Garlemald and the latter in Eorzea, as our new life blossomed into something beautiful. Not every day has been easy, not even most days, but Drusilla's watchful eye has kept us safe, and our freedom is worth any measure of hardship. Such terrible fear gripped my heart when my beloved told me of the pale man he spied on the sands, but now that the family has come to help, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I'm sure you wish to know precisely where to find that horrid creature, but I cannot help half so well as my beloved might. Seek him in the southeast, and pray put an end to this nightmare. Speak with the lithe dandy. Doing alright, my man? Through devilled mists the hunter doth now tread, tracking the scent of quarry others dread. In darkest night cry for a keeper. Lo, by your side she walks, the Reaper. Hi. Apologies for the effusive display, friend. I'm a poet, you see, and cannot resist putting into words the flood of emotions that accompany such a striking figure as yours. Oh, shut up. Oh. Monster! This is a trick. This is a fucking trick. The bloodlust emanating from this void scent is potent and powerful. This is a fucking trap. This is almost 100% Orcus being like, I want to see how you perform and see if you're getting better. Almost certainly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, my savior, my godsend. Oh, would that I could have aided you, but alas, a poet's pen is of little use in battle. Unless, of course, that battle involves not swords and scythes, but words. Just ask the sire of my beloved, who is even now licking the wounds dealt by the invective verse I composed after he had the gall to forbid our union. Masterwork of scathing metaphor and subtle remonstration. Alas, for all their pretensions, nobles are anything but subtle in their rage. That we were forced to flee, to abandon our homes with only our love for sustenance. Nevertheless, I've regretted not a single moment of our life in exile. In Eorzea, we found an unexpected treasure. Freedom. Freedom of mind and freedom of heart. But I digress. Surely you did not seek me out simply to save my life and leave with a nod and a smile. Did you wish to commission a poem? Not quite, unless you're describing where you saw the Pale Man. The Pale Man? Aye, I encountered him whilst wandering these arid wastes in search of inspiration. I felt the gaze of some terrible presence upon my back. When I turned to meet it, he was standing there, grinning like a butcher in a bullpen. He wore robes much too thick for these scorched sands, and his skin looked as if it had never been kissed by the blazing sun. Worst of all, his eyes were as two bottomless pools of blood. I feared my end had come, but then he vanished as quickly as he appeared. Perhaps I've been reckless. Recent incidents make it clear that the cost of inspiration is higher than I'm willing to pay. I shall return to my beloved for both my safety and hers. Thank you again, my savior. Okay, so did I get literally any info? Not much to go on. Yeah. That's about right. Ow. I'm hitting the aether barrier at the fucking roof. There you are. And another one of his accursed minions. Well, I suppose we can take comfort in the fact that none of the family came to harm, yourself included. Well done. Speaking of which, what do you think of this family you've been thrust into? Speak freely. I haven't lived this long by taking offences at opinions I didn't want to hear. Surprised you've all survived this long. Seems like any other family to me. Doesn't matter what I think, does it? Actually, this actually kind of, like, plays into Rey's backstory a little bit. So basically, she was born into the Dothal, and, like, as a baby, basically, like, abandoned. And she was basically raised by, like, merchants and pirates, that started, sailing from, like, Hingashi and shit. So, like, I feel like she'd be like, no, this feels like family. Seem some odd families then, I reckon. Like to think we're one of a kind, though. Collection of cast-offs unfit to live under the Empire's boot. Yours truly included. Yeah, what did you do? Did you just run, or, like, do you actually have a... Much as some enlightened types might tell you otherwise, people like to have a say in the life they lead. That's what separates us from those bugs over there. Born queens, workers, and drones. Bred into roles ingrained so deeply they wouldn't know how to live otherwise. For the glory and prosperity of the Hive. I can't believe they actually took in the scenery for this. That's, like, an impressive... Okay, like, there have been main story quests and a few other quests that have probably done similar things, but I think for having, like, a singular, like, job quest, they've done an impressive amount of, like, using literally Uldar as a stage for telling the story. Which, I mean, I should come to expect that at this point, because this is Endwalker job quests. So, like... Yeah. But we've got it in us to be different. Might be born into farming, soldiering, and politicking, but we can choose to walk a different path whenever the fancy should strike. It ain't in our nature to accept our lot without question. No, we have to believe in something. Put our faith in it. Only then will we deign to march in step. Indeed, faith of a savage stripe is one way to get us dancing to the same tune. Others might be compelled through faith in logical law, intangible and visible, yet cause enough for killing and conquering it if it suits the Queen. The invaders have sullied our birthright for 8 centuries, no longer. We march for Locus Amoenus. A few righteous words, his radiant Solus Galvus whipped the Hive into a frenzy. Once that fire was burning, the passion of the masses couldn't soon be quelled. What was once a wish for home became a holy mission to spread enlightenment. Enlightenment which would not suffer such beliefs as the Beastmen held. Countless scores rendered up their lives to the altar of the Empire, until an entire continent was united under a single Magitech fist. For those who still dream of unity, a deed worthy of song. Yet some awoke to see it for the tyranny it was, my grandfather Rulus included. The talents of the Reapers are passed down through bloodlines. Rulus was the best of us, most accomplished and feared in the Order's long history. The duty of the Reapers, our role in the Hive, if you will, was to deliver our countrymen from corrupt and power-hungry tyrants. When Garlemald found religion in conquest, its appetite grew to be insatiable. My grandfather pondered this conundrum for many sleepless nights and came to a decision. He would realize relieve Solusos Galvus of his life. Holy shit! So the Reapers were literally trying to overthrow destabilize the Empire. That's fucking sick. The duty of the Reapers, our role in the Hive, if you will, was to deliver our countrymen from corrupt and power-hungry tyrants. When Garlemald found religion in conquest, its appetite grew to be insatiable. Was to deliver our countrymen from corrupt and power-hungry tyrants. Yeah, so basically, we're gonna make sure that Garlemald doesn't fall to that shit. Uh-oh, our own are doing that now. Well, they gotta go. That's actually... like, obviously, the Reapers count for, like, very few of the people of Garlemald. But I appreciate that they're actually pointing out, like, a group of people that were like, hey, you know, don't oppress us, don't oppress us, don't oppress us. Wait, we're doing the oppressing now? Okay, that's gotta go too. Like, well, obviously, Sleepless Nights Conundrum probably took some time, but nonetheless, they came to the conclusion that, nah, we've kind of got to stop this shit as well. And like, usually this starts off as a thing where it's like, oh, you know, the assassins of this thing were used to do the thing, and they weren't questioning at all, and then they got betrayed, and that's why they hate the Empire now, because they got someone, they basically betrayed them. No, but no, this is like more of an ideological thing. It's just like, the Reapers were meant to keep, Garleans from being, oppressed in one form or another, and then basically saw Garlemald start doing that, and went, oh, no, absolutely not, and went so far as trying to kill the fucking Emperor, so, good. I'm glad we have this story. 20 years ago, he slipped into the deepest chambers of the Imperial Palace, silent as a shadow, until he could hear the Emperor's heart beaten. Yet when Rulus returned to me, Solus was alive and well. My grandfather, on the other hand, had a skittishness to his step. His black hair had turned a pale white. Yeah, I was about to say, like, huh, he really went out looking to kill a Garlean and suddenly was confronted by an unsundered Ascian. Oh! Oh, my guy, no. Got his ass handed to him. I don't even think... You know what? I'm willing to bet he didn't even fight. I reckon Emmett just fucked with him, like, verbally, and that was it. That was enough. Because Emmett is a goddamn mastermind. He said naught of his encounter with the Emperor, save the most powerful man in Garlemald was no man at all. Shamed in his defeat, my grandfather sought greater power. Bit by bit, he gave more and more... Oh, no! Orcus was the fucking void scent that Rulus made a pact with, isn't it? Oh, shit. Oh, actually, hold on. I wonder if that was Emmett's doing. Because, surely, like, Emmett can see souls, right? Surely he'd be able to piece together this random assassin has, like, given himself to a void scent in some form or another. I wonder if he just, like, triggered this, like, a closer linking between the two, and then Orcus just basically took over because Rulus was giving himself more and more to the void scent. Oh, Jesus. Huh. Bit by bit, he gave more and more... gave more of himself over to the void scent behind his avatar. Orcus struck when Rulus was weakest, taking his flesh and soul in one fell swoop. When he was finished, not a mote of my grandfather remained in that body. There was only Orcus. The fiend flew into a rapturous frenzy. My family were his first victims. I remember the chills of his teeth sinking into my flesh, gnawing until they reached my very essence. God, Emmett, fucked up. How am I standing here before you, then? Orcus scorched on a soul that night, but it wasn't mine. Not exactly. It was my avatar that filled his belly. Seemed that that was all he could stomach. Wait, what? Some might consider that a lucky twist of fate, but I had little time to ponder my fortune. Fled soon as I was able. His radiance never looked kindly on those trying to end his life or their families. I wandered about for years until I settled here and started seeking out others like me. Others who had awoken from the Empire's dream. Lemures is what we call the spirits of the dead in the Garlean tongue. A fitting moniker if there ever was one. Waking up from a long sleep ain't unlike climbing out of the grave. I can attest to that. Son of a bleeding... Remind me not to give such long-winded speeches when the sand is blowing in my face. Drusilla, it's raining. I'm heading back for some ale. See you at the headquarters. Fuck. That's actually such a cool fucking storyline to kind of be concluding here. Here are a bunch of assassins that worked with the Empire. Then they saw that the Empire was doing the same shit, or growing to do the same shit as other people were. So they decided to try and kill the Emperor, and they basically got turned inside out. Because the Emperor was a fucking Asian. Oh, fuck. That's actually really good. I'm back. Welcome back, boss. How was the family? Shaken, but unharmed aside from some tousled hair and mangled verse. Orcus left one of his minions behind as a gift, but Rhea made quick work of it. I always said she was a keeper. You have an eye for the fierce of heart. Didn't you say I wager she could slay Orcus all on her own. Not that we'd let her take all the glory. Of course we wouldn't. We'll be there when Orcus tries to take his prize. Don't think we'll be waiting any longer either. Why do you say that? Orcus said he'd strike when Rand was ripe with fear and hatred and despair. Seasonings he'd loath to forego. I have an inkling how he might try to draw out those emotions and finish off a half-eaten meal besides. Right you are, Drusilla. Yeah. Fuck. Well, you've sealed your death warrant, motherfucker. How many nights did you mourn your lost avatar? The wellspring of your power? I must say, it was quite the dish. I think not. Move so much as a finger and her head will hit the floor. Oh, that's it, Rayon. That fire. I want to see it burn. I want to see it rage. I want to see the hatred seep into the depths of your soul. Shall I make this Drusilla's final breath? Or this one? It is so very hard to choose. I was right not to give in to my baser instincts. To allow the thought of your taste to simmer in my mind as you and Drusilla formed a bond. A kinship, even. Born from an understanding of her inconsequential ideals. You may better appreciate the bitter loss. But perhaps I should wait a little longer. To let the flavor of your hatred mature and the tang of your malice ripen. I can make use of Drusilla yet. Revel in her screams, exult in her misery. Ah, how splendid it will be. God, you all talk like Xenos. All the while, my prized piglet growing fat with loathing and succulent with terror. Patience rewards the dutiful gourmand, after all. When your tantalizing flavor has fully matured, I shall return, and I shall reap my harvest. Goddamn void-sent bastard. Soulless piece of shite. We need to think, Herman. Swipe that sodding demon spawn. Aye, that's the spirit. Right, we need a plan. First things first, find out where Orcus is hiding. The rest of the family should be able to help with that. In the meantime, you need to prepare. I know you're good, Rayan, but we can't leave the boss's life to chance. Sharpen your skills in your scythe, then sharpen them once more. The boss can do naught against Orcus without her avatar. That means you'll have to do the heavy lifting. Of course, I'll do what I can to offer you an advantage. You can count on that. For Drusilla. Yep, there it is. Give me my fucking level 80 abilities. Herman seems to be in a fit of pique. Wait. I know what that word is, but I've never seen it used like that. Her anger directed at something you cannot see. In a fit of... Oh. Someone has literally... Suddenly because they are annoyed being not treated properly. If someone does something in a fit of pique, they do it suddenly because they are annoyed at being not treated properly. Okay. I guess I understand what that means in this sentence, but I don't understand how that maps onto what that word is usually means, but yeah. I get my hands on him. Oh, Rayan. Listen, we found out where the boss is being held, but I'm warning you that the how of it isn't pretty. An envelope arrived at headquarters this morning. I opened it, and inside was... Shite. Inside was a letter written blood. There's no doubting whose it was. Orcus is reveling in his own cruelty. The letter said he's waiting for us at the dusk vigil. Gods know what he's doing to her now. Called on every able-bodied member of the family for this one. We're headed out as soon as everyone's assembled. Even the poet? We're here, Herman, and more waiting outside. We're ready to repay the debt we owe Drusilla, with our lives if we must. With souls courageous, hearts of hardened steel, for leaders' sake, for family's ideal, into the demon's lair they soon shall tread, to end his terror foul, his reign of dread. Sure. The boss would beam with pride to see our group, this group of cold-blooded killers. The poet, like, fucking stumbles back. It's a job for a Reaper and a Reaper alone. What? Now, we might not hold a candle to the likes of you, but we've got our skills. You'll need someone to distract Orcus, right? Then you can move in for the kill while his back is turned. Don't tell us to stay here with our thumbs up our asses while the boss is suffering. Don't make me repeat myself. Drusilla wouldn't want you throwing your lives away. What do you know about what she wants? Herman, listen. Maybe she's right. I know she's right, god damn it. Doesn't mean it doesn't chafe. Boss wouldn't trust just any woman with a Reaper's heart. Rayon has proven herself worthy time and time again. If you're going alone, take that with you. Her... Yeah. That'll probably just give me a level 80 weapon. For the boss. No self-respecting Reaper can reap without their scythe. Oh, I'm not going to use it, of course. Fuck. Damn it, give me a level 80 weapon before this happens. Still working with a level 71. 71, not 71. Oh, unless I am equipping it. Am I equipping it? Now go and make Orcus rue the day he crossed into this world. Of course I'm not. Don't Imperial salute? What the fuck? I mean, I guess they don't have an alternative with the way they've set up the game so far, but that's like German. That, oh god, I don't really want to make this comparison, but it's like, I think it's pretty apparent. That's like Germans who are like fed up with the Nazis. Like giving the Sig Heil to you as you leave to go fight off the like, what the fuck? Galleon-based orc obviously uses the Imperial salute. Yeah, but the problem is that it's the salute of, like, an Imperial, like, a fascist Imperial Empire? Well, Imperial Empire is probably a bit redundant, but, like... Like, I absolutely understand what they're going for, right? Because that is the only thing that's really associated with Garleans, and... You know, maybe that's a criticism of the fact that they haven't really explored much of the Garleans up until this point that isn't just the Empire. However, it is still weird that that was the thing used also explicitly used by what are essentially anti-fascist assassins. Like, that's a bit weird. The thing's basically been co-opted by the Empire at this point. Like, I don't know why they'd still do that. Like, if I'm thinking of that, if I'm analyzing that as a equivalent to a real-world thing that would happen, as opposed to, this is a video game where they have to signal thing in video game. Why Dusk Vigil, though? Fucking Emmett music. There you are, Rayon. My prize repast. Come forward. Oof, that animation does not look good holding the fucking scythe like that. Orcus, do you understand that I had to walk through the entire oh my god. Come on, then. I can smell it. Your fear. Your hatred. Your tender, marbled soul. My masterpiece ripe for the slaughter. I'll savor every bite, strip the flesh from your bones, crack them open to sup and... Oh, hell yeah. The good music. How I hungered, how I thirsted, enraptured by the thought of your sweet essence trickling down my throat. Never have I suffered so in waiting, but in beholding your magnificence, I see it was worth every agonizing pang. Oh my god. You could you could give Xenos a run for your money with how much you're fucking salivating. I do not expect you to leap into my maw willingly, nor do I desire it. I want you to writhe and struggle into your dying breath. I just realized I had the music turned down too. But up until this point has been... Also, not that we've had voice acting to actually listen to either. Alright, bitch. Let's do it. What's going on? What are you fucking doing? Really not doing a lot of damage, am I? Oh, for fuck's sake. I was gonna say, I'm having a bit of trouble, but I don't know if that's because bad weapon. Very good. Defiance becomes you. Though it begins to bore me. Uh-huh. Noise, rather. It's past time you bared your belly for my blade. Try it, bitch. Prey's sole purpose is to satisfy. Are you doing a oh, no, okay. I thought he was doing the fucking freezer ball, but... Drusilla, don't you do something stupid. My word, your aim is terrible. Ugh. Get fucked. How? Should be nothing left of you. Should have learned to chew your food more thoroughly. Fools, the both of you. I won't die so easily. Now our feast begins. Drusilla, fuck! Girl! Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh no. I'm really bad at keeping up the Death's Design debuff, I've found. Like, literally my #1 problem with playing Reaper. Oh god. Well, that was stupid of me. It's fine. Oh, fuck you, buddy. no. The honor is yours, Drusilla. Thank you, Rayon. Dripping with fear, boiled in hatred, I can still smell its exquisite aroma. Just a taste. It's done. Let's get back to headquarters, Rayon. Boss! Rayon! Sorry for causing you all no end of worry. In tracking me down, you risked life and limb, and for that I thank you. All of you. We didn't risk anything. We just sat here praying until you and Rayon walked through the door. Don't be so hard on yourself, lass. I know each and every one of you would have joined her if she hadn't talked some sense into you. We owe you our lives, boss. We owed it to you to return the favor. You're more than I deserve. Who forces them they hold dear into a personal vendetta? Who leads family to their death? Arn was no fool. He knew and accepted the risks. He placed his faith in you because he believed Orcus had to be stopped, and he was right. There'll be no more victims to mourn. He helped you to achieve that victory. It'll be enough for him, and it'll be enough for me. Yeah, you're right. This ain't the time for sulking. Arn would be the first to tell me that. Now's the time to honor his sacrifice, to toast those we have lost, those still by our sides. And to thank the brave souls that led us here. That means you, Rayon, much as I'd like to take credit for Orcus's demise. It was a long, bloody road, but this marks the end of your first assignment as a Reaper. And what an assignment it was, eh? It might not be Garlean, but you tackled your task with a singular resolve that impressed the most hardened soldier. Proud to call you family. We may have founded the Lemures to provide a home for wayward Garleans, but we're not so different, Garleans and Eorzeans. No great revelation that, but moments like these help to put it all in perspective. Family was a dream that gave us the strength to survive in a strange land. But the beautiful thing about dreams, if you ask me, is that they can change. They can get better. So I say that from this day forward, the Lemures will be united not by origin, but by purpose. Brothers and sisters bond by shared convictions. I don't think anyone will object to that, boss. The Lemures are ready to welcome people of all stripes. Starting with you, Rayon. That was all but official already, eh? Aye. Here's to the birth of a new family, sister. God, I'm always torn on whether I actually like the kind of like more dainty, fucking music, like emotes from Ray. Because like on one hand, she's like a hardened fucking pirate, but on the other, fuck it, why not? What a day it's been, eh? Hope it'll be a while yet before I have occasion to yammer on that much again. Too much talking is liable to put me in a sentimental mood. Or worse, make me dewy-eyed. So let's leave it at that, eh? You ever get weary from the weight of the world on your shoulders, know that our doors will always be open. And if you need an ear to bend, a shoulder to weep on, or a stiff bottle to jump inside, I'll be right here, sister. Fuck yeah. I finally get in Shroud. Oh. I get they want you to obviously go through it and that to get the cool shit, but god damn it, I wanted to play with that a lot earlier. Shroud gauge signifies the strength of your bond with your avatar. When the gauge is sufficiently filled, you can execute and Shroud to temporarily serve as host to your avatar. Once it's shrouded, the death gauge will display the time remaining to play host to it, as well as your stacks of Lemure Shroud, which are consumed to use powerful attacks such as Void Reaping and Communio. Quiet at 90, and then the rest I've already seen before. Nice. Already in position because I planned ahead. It's always a pleasure to see you walk through those doors, Rayon. I know it's not very homely in here, but feel free to kick your feet up wheresoever you can. How fare the Lemures? Doing as well as can be expected, all things considered. Left some shoes that are proven hard to fill, and we've found ourselves with less skill at hand than we're accustomed to. Herman is doing all she can, bless her heart. As she claims to hate using her head, she's shown a sharp mind for trade. Thanks to her, our cerulean business is getting back on track. Arn's wife is making do, you'd be glad to hear. She's running her own stall and doing a fine job of it, by all accounts. I just hope if anyone in the family needs my help, I'll be around to give them what they need. I've heard tell of what happened in Garlemald. Just because the Empire's gone, it doesn't mean everyone who's fled its clutches has a burning desire to return home. I take it the Lemures will be in Uldar for some time yet. Yeah, that's probably an extra line just from ending the thing. Or getting to the end of Endwalker, I presume. But yeah, I'm done. And that means I can go and fucking play with Reaper as much as I please now. Which is good, because I want to fucking figure out how Enshroud works. And see how that kind of works. Because, like I said earlier in the stream, the rotation feels like there's a sense to the rotation, but it feels stilted at the moment because, like, the cooldowns and stuff aren't lining up with the meter. So, waits for Garlemald restoration soon. It wouldn't surprise me if that's a thing. Oh, God. It makes me wonder if that, like, will be part of, like, the next expansion, where it's, like, really actually picking up the pieces and not just, like, okay, let's take a rest to establish a bunch of shit before we kind of go forward. Like, I'd imagine that'd probably be part of, like, if I were to guess, it would make the most sense that that starts happening around a time that maybe we're exploring other parts of Ilsabard. Because, like, Emmett does talk to us about, like, the places surrounding Garlemald, and obviously on the map there's, like, a gigantic fucking swirling cloud that we have not explored. So it kind of makes sense that, like, you know, okay, we start back in Garlemald as, like, a key place that, and restoration happens as part of, like, a patch or something like that. But, like, a lot of the expansion is actually kind of exploring Ilsabard proper. That'd be cool. Or Mericidia. Honestly, well, that's the thing. Like, I don't know if they'd... The thing is that, like, 14's been pretty, like, slow going with introducing stuff like that. Like, they tend not to burn through a bunch of places at one time, right? This is kind of a unique circumstance where they took, like, one island, one part of Ilsabard, and, like, Old Charlian. But they're, like, big disjointed places, and, like, not this gigantic bit of the continent that we haven't seen, let alone the other continents we haven't seen. So, like, I don't know. I wouldn't want them to burn through places unnecessarily, either. Like, I don't know what would be in Ilsabard to justify an entire expansion, but I wouldn't want them to burn through it just as like, oh yeah, here's this one area that's the entirety of Ilsabard anyway, moving on. Because, like, we did a raid series in Dalmasca, we had, fuck, I forget where this is. But, like, we had a dungeon in the burn, like, Othard was pretty thoroughly explored. Maybe except for this bit, a little bit, but... Oh, is that Bosnia? Oh, yeah, it might be. I just don't know what that city's called. Like, I'm pretty sure that's Dalmasca. Because it's, like, around the desert part. Actually, fuck. Where canonically on the map does all of the, Stormblood Alliance raid take place? Well, anyway, that's for speculation for another time. My only comment, I guess, regarding that before I go is just that I'd probably prefer them not to burn through shit like that unnecessarily. It would be a real shame if they, like, burnt through the rest of Eorzea in a couple of expansions, considering... excuse me. How, like, steady and meticulous they've been exploring parts of it already. And, like, God, Meracidia could be its own fucking expansion. Like, let's be honest. Taking out, like, removing any other side intrigue, you could do an entire expansion in Meracidia and just exploring it, depending on, like, how much is actually going on there, so, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go spend the rest of the night playing Reaper and learning how to fucking play it properly now. Still gonna be playing Devil May Cry tomorrow. I might play it a little bit later in the afternoon, or a little bit later in the day. I don't know. I might sleep in a bit, because I'm already up late and I'm probably gonna be playing late. Still haven't finished my dinner either, so. And yeah, like I said, during the week, there's another DPS, there's a DPS I could pick up because I've completed Reaper now. I don't know what that's gonna be. Maybe I'll do a bit more Paladin on stream before I decide on what DPS I'm gonna do next. Because I prefer to, like, move on with Paladin before like, chewing through another DPS class. Although, granted, the ones I have yet to do are not going to be as quick as Reaper, because Reaper is an Endwalker job. But yeah. More DMC3 tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen during the week, but stuff will happen during the week. Depends on circumstances. So, yeah. That's about it. So, thank you very much for watching live or on the VODs. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a lovely day, and I hope to see you all next time.